Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with a daily technical update. It is Friday the 28th of June and today we'll start with Tesla. Tesla touched the minor resistance here at 198.87, that peak here back from late April. We are in a bullish trend, short term. There is positive sentiment on the RSI. I think we next couple of days going into next week, we could see a push towards 204, 207, where we also had the 200 moving average coming down, giving some resistance. We have this little gap area here. So in this region here, we could see it top it out. If it does close above 207.83, well, then there's potential higher. If we look a little bit further ahead and zoom out a little bit, let's change this to a weekly chart. Well, then it is very close to break this bearish trend, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and so on. If it does close above the 198.87 level. However, the RSI is still a negative sentiment on the weekly, but it seems like we are in for a larger bullish correction on Tesla. On S&P 500. Well, it's slowly crawling higher after the sell-off late last week and the early part of this week. It could cancel this top and reversal like pattern here, and I believe it will do so. not necessarily today, but it will take a little bit of time. And there's still a downside risk for a larger correction down to around 5,400, 5,385. However, if it takes out 5,506, well, then it'll cancel this top reverse pattern. The RSI is not showing any divergence. It is in a positive sentiment, indicating we are likely to see higher highs on S&P 500. More or less the same picture on a Nasdaq 100, really. No divergence on the RSI. It could take a little bit longer before it actually pulls above 19,980 and above 20,000. If it takes out that level here, 19,980, well, then this top of reversal like pattern here has been cancelled and we are pushing higher above 20k. On the European markets, well, finding a little bit of support here at 48.88 on the EUROSTOXX 50. That is the minor support. If it takes that out, well, then we're looking at 48.12. DAX slowly trying to crawl higher, still finding some support here at the 100 moving average. There's still negative sentiment on the RSI. However, if it can close above its falling trend line, well, then the key question will it break back above and close above a 60 threshold. But it really needs to get back above the 18,500 on DAX. Amsterdam index still 918 is the key support. We are above the upper rising trend line there, so still fairly strong trend, despite a little bit sideways lately. CAC, on the other hand, is really struggling again. It's been hammered down the past few days. 7,464, likely to be tested here later today. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. If it closes below, well, then there we could see lower levels towards 7,280, 7,300. It does look really bad for CAC 40 at the moment, which is facing an election shortly. The Swiss markets, we still have this top reversal pattern in place, but currently it's range bound between 12,182 and 11,955. That's the levels it needs to break out of for direction. Euro dollar, still not really much going on the FX market the past few days, to be honest. I mean, we saw the euro dollar testing 106.65 again. That is the key support. It was the third time it actually did hold on above it, so maybe we'll see a little bit of a bounce again towards 107.50, but this is the range, it seems, and I don't expect that to be changed anytime soon. But 106.65, keep an eye on that level. That is key support. Euro sterling also here, after bouncing off support just above 84.28, resistance 84, 84, 84, 85. This level here, if it breaks above that, then we're looking at 85. and possibly higher, but there is some strong overhead resistance right there. Cable, heavy, and I still believe that it will slowly slide lower, but it has a lifeline down here on the RSI, still in a positive sentiment. It needs to break below 40 to change that. Well, actually close below 40 to reverse that. So maybe we'll have a little bit of bullish correction up to 127. But it is really and it is struggling at the moment. So 127.02. Keep an eye on that. If it takes out that, then we're looking at 127.40 and higher. Otherwise, we're looking at 125.60 level. Dollar yen slowly ticking higher again, but it looks a little bit toppish short term. I don't have any resistance. I don't have any strong resistance at the moment. If we're looking at the monthly chart here, we can see we're actually above this 160.32. That is the peak from the 90s. So we are actually even further back. However, 138.2 projection of this correction here is at 161.43. So maybe that is what we are looking at. We were being very close to here this morning. So I think we are a little bit in a stretch situation on dollar yen, to be honest. But we are still in a positive sentiment on the RSI, so we could push a little bit higher. The euro yen also, as you will see, it spiked a little bit higher this morning. Also, we're a little bit stressed here at 138.2 projection at 172.18. We could have a little bit of a correction kicking in there. Let's see later today how it goes. We also here above the peak, coming back all the way from 2008. We are above that. And we have to go actually all the way back to also in 1992 to find levels where euro yen is currently trading. Aussie yen, same picture, and that's going to be interesting. Will we have a negative day today or not? If we do have a bearish day today, well, then we have a top and reversal like pattern in place, and we could see a correction. So let's talk Monday and see where we are. But be careful. We had this doji here yesterday, so it could be a top and reversal pattern in the making, and it's just below 107.88. We were very close to yesterday, 107 and a change. 107.88 back from the 2008, also there 2007 actually. Sterling yen, more or less the same picture. Looks a little bit tough, but pushing higher. We have some divergence on the RSI. We are above resistance going back to 2015, 2016. There's no strong resistance until around 214. That goes back to 08. Around these levels here, so it looks fairly strong at the moment. A little bit stressed according to RSI, but I think we will push higher. Aussie dollar, well, not much to say really. Still in this fairly broad range there, so I'll skip that more or less. 87.14, 67.14 and 65.80. Dollar Canada, trying to push higher, but struggling. So still this range up to 137.85 that it needs to break. EURUSD on the other hand closed yesterday above 96.07. This minor resistance, I think we could push a little bit higher in coming days towards 96.50, 96.75 possibly. In this area we have some stronger resistance, but we have the RSI showing a negative sentiment, so there is a little bit of resistance. Also we have the 100 moving average giving a little bit of resistance here. We have the 55 coming down, so it would be a bit of a struggle to push higher. We could see a little bit setback here in the next couple of days, but I think we will push a little bit higher eventually. Dollar Swiss trading around 89, 88 resistance. It's not the strongest one. As you can see, it went straight through there, and now it's back above but in this region here, I mean, there is still some resistance. 55 coming down here, adding a little bit of resistance, and you also have the cloud that will add some resistance. We are still in a negative sentiment on the RSI, but as we talked about, there is divergence on the RSI, so I think we will push higher in coming days and weeks, but really to gain really upside momentum, it needs to break above 91, and we could see it sliding back a little bit before next push higher. Finally, on the dollar index, slowly crawling higher towards 106.33. We could see some setbacks here. You can see the underlying moving averages. They are not that convincing. They are slightly rising, but the RSI is above and was above 60 here the other day, 60.55. So we are in a positive sentiment, and we could see a dollar index push towards 106.33. Gold, well, 22.85 still the support that it needs to break, so we are still in this range bound area here. The silver, 28.65 is the level here. We are in a bearish trend, but the RSI is still in a positive sentiment. There's no divergence, so let's see, can it break? Can it turn around and push higher? If it moves above 30, back above the cloud here, well, then it never closed below the cloud, by the way, and that is also key. So if it does close back above the cloud, then I'm really betting on an upside potential for silver, and we can draw this trend line here that gives a little bit of an indication of where market could be heading if it breaks above the cloud. If it breaks above the falling trend line, well, then we are looking at higher levels. Platinum, 10,015 really is key support, resistance for platinum. If it does close above and RSI back above 60, well, then we have platinum pushing higher towards 1100 once again. Copper, bouncing a little bit this morning, but it is in a downtrend, bearish sentiment or negative sentiment on the RSI. It's below 40. There's still potential down to around 424, which is the 61.8 retracement of this entire uptrend here, possibly down to 416. If it does push back above 450, well, it's still in a bearish sentiment, bearish trend. And if we add this one, it really needs to close above a 458.90 or 459 to demolish this bearish trend. On the energy market, there has been some movements where the WTI and Brent, they are taking off now, pushing higher towards 83 resistance, and could also be up here around 84.46. But we are in a bullish trend, positive sentiment supporting this, and I think we'll push higher a couple of dollars here the next going into next week. Brent, no resistance until around 89 and 90 level. So really bullish there. However, as you can see, there is a little bit conflicting about the moving averages. We have the 200 moving down, we have the 55 moving down, and we have the 100 moving up. So there's a little bit conflict between that. So it's not that strong bullish trend. However, we are above the cloud and there's positive sentiment, so a push towards 89, possibly 90 is in the cards. Finally, on the US Treasury yields, well, not much to say. Got rejected here at just below the 100 and 200 moving average, and I think we will see that in the short-term future in this range, so here between 420 and 435. All right, have a nice weekend and happy trading.